Hello and welcome or welcome back to Let's Talk Tarot. In this video, we're going to learn about Tarot's court cards. Those are the pages, the knights, the queens, and the kings. And specifically, I want to talk about their ranks, the ranking of each of the court cards, and how it affects or how they what they have to offer to the tarot. And you know, we can think of court cards as representing specific personality traits, even a specific person, or ourselves. So if you have if you're reading for someone else, a court card in their spread, it could represent either a real person in their outer life, in their inner life. It could represent them, or it could represent the energies around the situation. So specifically when we talk about the court cards, you know, they have personalities and they have their own specific quirks and traits. And it's really interesting to me how psychologists are always trying to figure out what makes us humans tick, and why we are how we are, why some of us are this way and some of us are that way, and always comparing and just trying to dig around and find out really what makes us humans tick. And the court cards in the tarot kind of give you that clue of what's going on energy-wise and personality-wise for your querent and for yourself. So there's something that I find so interesting. If you've worked for corporate America, or maybe personally you've just taken this test, you can take it on the internet anytime, but it's the Briggs and Myers, no, it's the Myers-Briggs personality test. And that test has been used for many, many years. Corporations have their employees take this test. It helps them identify who are their leaders, where people are strong, what people's personality traits can bring to the table, and how they play in a team, all these kinds of things. And so this Myers-Briggs personality test has been around for a long, long time. It's kind of a standard. And there are 16 specific personality types through the Myers-Briggs system. It's fascinating to me because there are 16 court cards in the tarot deck. 4 pages, 4 knights, 4 queens, and 4 kings. So I don't think that's really a coincidence. Anyway, let's talk about the genders of these cards. So let's just, for example, we can say the kings and the queens, male and female. I use, in this series, we're using the Rider-Waite Coleman-Smith pack, and it's very traditional, super traditional. And so it looks gender specific in these court cards. But I want to tell you, they are not gender specific at all. Not at all. So if you see an image, and like the queens in this deck, in a lot of decks, are very traditionally a woman, and the king very traditionally a man. But that is not set in stone. They're really genderless. And for example, I can be reading for a client and the querent is a male, and a queen can come up, and depending on the way and the intuition and what's going on, it may tell me that this individual is very motivated with their feminine side, is very in touch with their feminine side. So when you look at court cards in the tarot, they're not specific to gender, okay? They're more specific to energy. And so that's why I wanted to talk about the ranks within the pages, the knights, the queens, and the kings, because when we first look at their ranks and what they bring to the tarot, it makes it easier to start to learn to interpret them. Traditionally, the pages are youthful. They're young, and they have a childlike way of looking at things. So if you're reading for someone and they seem older and pretty serious, but a page comes up, it can show you that their approach is very youthful and even curious, or even childlike, playful. So these are real super powerful clues in your readings to get in touch with the person you're reading for, and to get in touch with yourself. Let's look at the rankings for each of the court cards. And when we look at our pages, Pages are the youngsters of the tarot. They're the young ones, and they specifically bring playfulness. They bring a playful energy, a playful relationship, a playful mindset, even a playful approach to the energy of its suit. Okay, so the pages are very unbiased. The pages don't have strong opinions yet. They're very young, and they're actually on their own. They're still learning about their own suit and how to interact with their own suit and what their suit means and what they mean. So they're the youngsters. And it's a playful energy, a curious energy, and typically very open-minded and open. When we look at the knights in tarot, now I look at them as like the teenagers of the tarot, because they can be a little bit erratic. Like at one moment they can showcase in a spread as very proactive with that suit's energy, and very balanced and moving forward in that energy. And sometimes they're really erratic and they can shift on a moment's notice. So the knights seem to be very much teenage-like. They're still trying to gain their maturity and their balance. And then when we look at the queens, now queens they represent a mature, an inwardly mature adult. And inwardly meaning that they embody the traits of their suit internally, and they radiate those traits outwardly through their intentions and their beliefs. So the queens are very much an inward energy, intuitive, introspective, leading by example, very clear in their intentions and their beliefs, very true to themselves. The kings are outwardly mature adults, which means that they project the energy of their suits outward. They impose it upon their world. They lead through their actions and setting external guidelines, and they're very much outwardly focused. And again, kings and queens, pages and knights, they can be genderless, and they can also encompass all genders. So that's the beauty of the court cards. Now, that's talking about the ranks of the court cards. In the next video, we're going to talk about the energy of each of the court cards and what that energy means within that suit. And we'll explore those more specifically. And I want to thank you so much for joining me. It's really great to be back, and thank you for watching. Please, if you haven't already, subscribe, hit that like button, and I'll see you in the next video.